What's up, everybody? How's it going? This is Caleb here, and I just wanted to make a video today because I want to talk to a very specific kind of person today. If you're watching this, I imagine that you are either interested in starting a business for your crochet, or you already have a business and you're just not seeing very much success right now. So today I want to go over a little bit why this is the case. It's not easy to start a business, and I know that firsthand. And I want to just talk to my audience real quick to be able to talk about some of the reasons why this is the case and what we can do from here, because I want to succeed. I want to see you succeed because I know that starting this crochet journey and being able to sell your stuff, it's super fulfilling. It's super fun to be able to do that. So let's go ahead and have a conversation about what's going on. So I want this video to be a little bit of like a self-reflection about the whole thing, because I've started crochet businesses. I've failed. I've started them again. I've failed again. And I want to just have an honest conversation. This is going to be like a self-reflection of me and kind of talking a little bit personally about who I am, how I started in the crochet world, and how I want to be able to succeed. Like, genuinely, it's really been a dream of mine over the past few years to be able to just have a business, be able to be independent and focus my entire day, entire week, entire month, entire life to be able to start this business and be able to make people happy through my products, through my services, or whatever. So a little bit about me. I went and started crocheting during the pandemic. I started in 2021, and during that time, it wasn't easy. I didn't have like a family member that taught me how to crochet. I didn't have anybody who was able to like guide me really. So my entire resource of being able to learn how to crochet was the internet at the time, and luckily YouTube existed. So I it wasn't hard to find resources to be able to learn, but when it came to like correcting or anything like that, everything for me was like a self, like kind of like guess and check. And if something didn't work out, then I just kept trying the next time and the next time and the next time. And some of the things that I was creating at the very start, oh my God, it was awful. I gifted something as like a Christmas present during like my second or third project. So I was like, okay, we gotta reel it back. We gotta be able to practice a little bit more before we go and start working on stuff for other people. But somewhere down the line, I wanted to start selling my stuff. I got better at the craft, and after I had worked on various projects that had taught me different skills, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and give it a shot. I made a bunch of stuffed animals, and I took it to a craft fair. I got a whole one sale, and I ended up giving an item away for free. I think I made $25 that day. So it was not great. I think I sold a cat. And after that, like, I was really defeated. I went to my first shop and I was like, oh my goodness, I have like $800 of inventory that I'm so excited to sell. But no, I absolutely fell just like flat on my face. And yeah, it was really tough. There were a couple other crochet artists that were also vending at that same event, and I don't know if they were successful or what happened, but I was not. And I got kind of, what's the word? Like, unmotivated. Like, defeated to an extent. Like, I gave up on it for a little bit. I stopped posting to social media. I deleted my social media accounts. And yeah, I mean, the very first time I quit so quick, I can't even lie. But then later that year, around like Christmas time, I was like working at like this place. I was working in like a medical office, and I just ended up gifting all the stuff that I wasn't able to sell at the market. I gifted it all to like my coworkers, and yeah, I just kind of gave up from there. But later the next year, I went ahead and gave it another stab. Actually, I think it was like a year and a half later. So I tried in 2024, and then I retried at the beginning of 2026. And then I just had some really big life changes that like kind of got in the way, so I wasn't able to continue. But like I was determined. I this time I was like, I am not stopping until I see success. But then those life changes got in the way. I moved out of like my town that I was living in. I was like going and getting a new job. I met a bunch of new people, and like there's so much things happening in my life that I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can be able to balance that on top of it. But now I'm back at it again. But I think like through this like trial and error, I also realized that there's a bunch of other things that interest me. I really care a lot about like the I don't know, the business side of like the crochet like business area, because a lot of people don't really care about the marketing. They don't care about the finance. They don't care about anything in that realm. And honestly, I love it. I love talking about the numbers. I love talking about spreadsheets. I love talking about projections and everything like that. I think it's so cool to like have like these visions and then talk about the steps, like step by step, to be able to get to where you're visioning you want to be in the future. So that's that's what I think I want to dedicate myself to. I want to be able to talk about all those steps and do like consulting for small businesses that are struggling. I want to be able to be a person of support for these crochet artists that aren't necessarily interested in the things that I'm interested in working on. I totally get that all of these factors are hard, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that everything that I know, or rather don't know, I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on the matter. Like it's something that I'm still experimenting with, and I'm going to give it my best shot to be able to educate myself on everything that I want, that I'll feel comfortable with being able to help other people with their businesses. So yeah, but I want to get into kind of like my ups, my downs, and everything that I need to express, to let my audience know that I I'm a person who's been through a lot of failure, and it's been hard. I can't even lie, but I want to express like my human like characteristics to everybody that I'm talking to, so that they can understand that they're not alone in trying to start this business venture, not alone in trying to just be independent in a way. Like I totally understand the appeal of wanting to start your own business, start your own craft. And I know that I'm just like kind of yapping at this point, but I sincerely want you to see me not as just like a random face on the internet. I want you to see me as a person, and I want you to know that my computer shut off. I'm I'm where you are. I've I'm where you have been. You're where I have been. We're in this together. And honestly, I want to be able to show to you that I know where you're at, and I want to be able to help in whatever areas that I can. And that's what I really want to get into later in this video, throughout my videos in the future, and ultimately I want to be able to help you grow. So really these last couple years have been years of confusion and I don't know, really big hits to the ego. Like I was always like this, like a really great student. I was always like top of my class. I don't know, just learning just was always so easy to me. I always got good grades, and through that I kind of like built like this idea of myself like, oh, I can do this so easily. Like there's nothing that can get in my way. And then I graduated college, and I graduated with a Spanish degree, and I learned how to speak Spanish, and I talk with people throughout my life, and I continue improving upon that. And I really thought that I wanted to go into like research for that, but I was like, well, we got to take a step back from school, because I don't know, my little like idea that everything's going to work out as long as I'm just like the smartest person in the room, it definitely needed to chill. And I decided to take away like a step away from like academia for the time. I was done with that part of my life for the time being, and I was like, well, the best thing that I can land right now is a medical reception job. So I got to figure something out. I got to either start a business, I got to go back to school. I got to figure something out because like if I'm stuck here for the rest of my life, I know that I'm just going to be miserable. And that was my reality. I was waking up every single morning at 6 o'clock, going to a job that I hated from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock every single weekday. And ultimately, I quit it. I was like, there's no way I can do this. I don't know exactly what is next for me. But I went and just like served for a while. I needed like the flexibility to like figure myself out. I was going to the gym a lot, and then I started working on my crochet business. This was now the second time. I was trying to do it during like the medical reception job the first time, and I don't know, maybe like my mental health was getting in the way also, but I was like, there's no way. We're done. We're absolutely done with this. But then I don't know, life just came crashing down for a second, and I like felt like the world was going to end when I was moving, because it wasn't really on the best terms that I was like moving out. Still living with my dad at the time, and we needed space. I moved across the state, and I got a job out here. I was working as a case manager, so still working in like the medical field, and it was fine. And now I it was fine, but it still wasn't fulfilling to me. I felt drained at the idea of dedicating so much time of my day to something that I absolutely hated. So I quit, and now I'm doing delivery, and I enjoy it. I get support from my partner. I get a lot of support, and he understands like my vision and how important it is to build something of your own in this world, because punching in and out of a clock it's really limiting, honestly, unless like you're earning like crazy money like in some like niche industry like tech, or if you're a doctor or something like that. I don't know, it's just so draining, the amount of like work that you're putting in for somebody else, and you're just like getting like a lousy paycheck every couple weeks. And I was like, there's got to be more than this. So I'm dedicating like all of my time now to be able to build myself, to build like my partnership, to help with everything that we got going on here. So yeah, but now at this time I'm working on being consistent with social media. I'm working on developing products that I would want to have access to if I were a growing crochet artist at this time. I want to work in consulting with crochet artists to be able to help them build something for themselves. I want them to break out of their depressing 9 to 5s, and I think that by providing the necessary tools, the necessary steps, the necessary diagnosis of what is getting in the way for them, I think that that would be extremely fulfilling for me. And I want to show exactly how I can do that, my experiences that led me to get here. And yeah, I mean, I've been through a lot of failure over these past couple of years, and I'm tired of it. I get that just saying that I'm tired of failure is not the key to surpassing it, but I think saying it out loud really, I don't know, helps like to reveal the fact that I need to work harder to be able to achieve the goals that I want to do. I have bills that I still have to pay. I have people that I still want to like maintain like a good image for, and that's why I still have to do delivery every single day for 8-9 hours a day to be able to make ends meet. But now I'm here talking about what is the purpose of all this. I love the flexibility that I get from delivery. I can make decent money doing it, just as much as I was making in my other job, if I'm being completely honest. But now I have the flexibility to dedicate so much more time to this, to content creation, to establishing my own business, to helping others. Really, that's one of the things that I'm doing this for. Like, I could start a business in something random that I don't really care about, but genuinely I care about helping creators be able to reach financial independence. through whatever necessary tools that I'm able to offer, through consulting, through education, through providing resources, ultimately. So that's my whole story, really. I graduated and I fell flat on my face, and I'm picking myself up, and I'm here to help you to do the same. So if you're interested in following along with me, I'm here and I'm happy to talk with you. So I'll see you in the next video.